What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to bring you guys this gun empty base mini scheme. So if you enjoyed this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. So as far as personnel goes, it honestly doesn't really matter. What I recommend is you put your best receiver right here. So well, fastest receiver, I should say. So that's why I have Jalen Guyton here. He's actually like 93 speed, I believe. And then we have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, who are really good at man coverage, because when you run empty, you are going to face man coverage, either man or match, and you're going to need people that can win in man coverage. So that's pretty much what this video is going to be geared towards. So I'm actually going to break down 2 plays for you guys, and then we're going to hop into some gameplay and show you how I utilize this full scheme. So as far as your audibles go, you want to have curl flats. Now, I don't like jet touch pass. You can use it if you want, but I personally don't like it. So I would actually sub that out for a quarterback draw. And I like to take vertical shake out, and I put wide corner. And I do like to keep doubles in. And the play I like to come out in is actually wide cross flood. Now, wide cross flood is going to be one of the plays I break down, and I'm going to break it down versus some zone, but I primarily want to show you against man coverage. So I'm talking about maybe just cover 3 as just a stock zone, and then I'm going to show you man coverage, and then I'm going to show you how I like to complement that play with wide corner, and then I'm going to hop into gameplay so you guys can see how it's ran in game. So now, real quick, I will talk about curl flats. So curl flats, I love this play stock if they're zone dropping. If they're zone dropping, you actually want to look for square, or you want to look for circle, because a lot of times the user is going to be covering on X, so it's just pretty much a high low that you're going to have to make a read on. Now, quarterback draw. Quarterback draw is great against pretty much every single thing. I find it works best against man, but it works good against zone also. So I run this one time so you can see. So a lot of times you want to take this and just kind of make it read just as I did, and make sure you are on quarterback. Make sure you do have your quarterback on conservative. Make sure you are on conservative, because you will fumble. For some reason, they have it to where anytime you're on your quarterback, you will fumble. So please turn on conservative. So now let's actually move on to what I was talking about. So this is that wide cross play, I believe I said. Now, my favorite setup out of this is take X, put them on a zig route. Then you actually want to take triangle, and I like the smart route is route. Now, this is my favorite versus man coverage. So the reason that this is good between man, because we actually have 4 routes on the field that could be man. Technically 5, depending on how they're playing. So a fade could be man, yes. Now, if they're shading over the top, you will have this open. Now, if they are not shading over the top, there's a chance you can have this route open right here. Now, crossers are going to beat man coverage. We all know that. Now, out routes is going to beat man coverage. And this post route right here is actually really glitchy against man coverage. So real quick, I'm just going to kind of show you. I said I'll show you against zone, so we'll stick with zone. And then after that, I'm going to show you just how it looks versus man. But this is primarily man, so if I wanted to run a zone out of this, I'll probably just take triangle, put them on an in route, and I would run it literally just like this, because a lot of times R1's going to actually get into a nice spot. As you can tell, a lot of times you pass it up there, and they're going to have to either user cover that, or they're going to have to zone drop to account for how deep that route is ran. So let's hop into replay real quick. So it's just basically a simple read. So you're just basically reading the user. So 9 times out of 10, the user will actually follow this route right here. And what you're banking on is having this route open up right here. And then you're going to take that pretty much every single time. So that's just the 1-2 that you want to read. And that's going to stay true to every single zone coverage in the game. So quickly, I want to talk about man coverage real quick, and then we'll hop right into gameplay. So let me show you man. So against man, this is great against this style of defense, or even deep pass. It can work good against, but they're going to have to play some type of variation where they have a purple and a purple like this, and they're going to have to use this safety if they want to have a chance at stopping, you know, everything that's happening. And that's where I like to come to this flood play at. So quickly, let me just shade over the top, because they will have to shade over the top. I'm gonna put them in a spot just to simulate the user being in the middle. So this route right here, I like the smart route triangle, and then take X, put them on a zig route just like this. Now I'll either A, run it like this, or B, I'll actually motion him across to force the user to have to stay on triangle. But the whole time we're actually looking at circle, because circle can do a nice job of getting separation. You can tell that's Guyton on G. Alexander, and that's just a Madden animation, but a lot of times you actually will get the win. As you guys know, Guyton's not a really good receiver. It's just that route is actually really good against man coverage. So I actually want to talk about the last play, and then we'll actually go to gameplay showing you how I put everything together. So let's actually talk about doubles in. No, not doubles in, excuse me. Let's talk about wide corner, excuse me. So with wide corner, what I love to do is take X, smart route is route just like this. And a lot of times I like to take circle, and well, if we're talking about zone, a lot of times I take circle, put them on a streak, take R1, put them on a zig route, and I'll take triangle, put them on an in route. I really love the zig in route combos, you guys can tell. So this is a good zone beater. Now you can either A, run it just like this, and I'll show you that real quick. You can run it like this, and actually you'll have just a nice read. You can tell X is going to do a nice job of getting on the sideline. They're going to have to zone drop or play a cloud. I think cover 2 actually will cover that. Or B, the last way you can run this is, let's go back to Y corner. You want to make sure you smart route the tight ends route X. So take them, smart route them just like this, and you actually want to motion them across. Now from there, you want to take circle, put them on a streak. You want to take R1. I like to still put a zig, and I like to do an in route. As you guys can see, I love the zig in route combo. It's just really nice. It really helps get triangle, the in route, wide open. So let me show you guys that real quick. So look at X. Watch how far he climbs. They will not be able to zone drop. Now I pass like that up on purpose just to show you that even if you pass lead up, they will not be able to get there. They cannot zone drop they far. They have to go use or guard that. So that's just why that route is really, really nice. So last thing I do want to show you before I show you gameplay is show you man coverage. So versus man, like I said, this is what you'll get most of the time. So take them, put them in a purple. Let's just say they played this style of man, right? So let's say they wanted, but even still, they have to use her somewhere, right? So let's say they wanted to use this guy right here, right? So it's just a lot of ways that you can actually play with the coverages. So one thing I like to do if they're trying to use it at, I like to take R1, smart route his route, make it run deeper, and then a lot of times I take circle, motion across, and actually put him either on a slant or put him on a drag. It doesn't matter. A lot of times I do like the drag, and basically you're looking at X. That's going to be your favorite read, or you can tell R1. You can actually lowball that if I don't get a weird low pass inaccurate. But quickly, I'm gonna hop into replay, just kind of show you that for half a second, and then we're gonna get right into the gameplay. So go ahead and motion across. Like I said, this drag a lot of times can get open if they're shading over the top. It normally does. Now this corner out is really good, so if they don't have a purple over there that's deep enough for it, you can actually throw that. Now right there, standard purple will cover it, but it pulls down at the last second, so sometimes you can't fit that in, but I don't recommend it. So what's nice about this, sometimes if they don't have this middle safety, then sometimes this route can win deep depending on who you have. But even still, we have a motion over drag or slant. So if you put this guy on a slant, it actually opens up this route a little bit more because the user's going to just be stuck in the middle. And a lot of times they're going to follow that slant, and we'll be able to lowball this. Normally they'll lowball it right about here. They're not going to throw like that little BS. But regardless, that's pretty much everything. So check out this gameplay. All right, so right here you can tell I did decide to start off the game with quarterback draw. Like I told you in practice mode, make sure you have quarterback make sure you have conservative on so you actually do not fumble, because they make you fumble really easy. Now, right here is another one of my favorite man setups. So this is that post play. I believe it's like X post or something like that. But what I love to do is take a slant and motion it across, and as you can tell, we get really glitchy right there with Keenan Allen, man. Nice little swerve, nice little stick. And right here, this is actually that wide shallow play I was telling you about. I think it's called wide shallow. But what I'm hoping for, you guys can actually watch this video and see like the pre-setup and then understand what play it is, because that'll help out a lot. And actually right there, that was him shading over the top. So when I tell you guys that they shade over the top, that zig route is going to be open, I really mean it's going to be open pretty much every single time. That's just how the game is built. Now right here, one thing I did find running this without like a really fast quarterback is that it's really hard to steer your quarterback away from the D tackle. That's just one thing that I find. Now this is my favorite red zone setup when they play man coverage. So basically I just take, it's basically stick, but I take the running back and I put him on a zig route or a flat, and then I motion over a slant. That works so good, because a lot of times the user's gonna fall for that first slant. We're hitting that second slant right over the top of their head. So right here I showed you guys this play in practice mode, and sometimes in man coverage what'll happen is that when you motion somebody over, a lot of times the person doesn't follow, and like you get that little free play type of thing. So that's why I love motioning people over, because sometimes if they don't set their defense up right, then you'll have, you know, it's an exploit that's been in Madden for a little while now. It's a shame they haven't fixed it, but nothing you can really do about it. Like there's answers for it, so like, you know, it's not something that's just glitchy or nothing, because there's things you can do about it. You know, you're eventually going to see he's going to be able to catch on and understand that, okay, I just need to do this to stop my people from moving. It's unfortunate you got to do that, but that's not what this video is geared towards. So right here is that little post play by the tight end. And basically, he was playing nothing but man coverage, so every single thing you're seeing is setups that destroy man, but they also can make good zone reads as well. So pretty much all I'm doing is take a triangle, put him on a zig, because if he shades over the top, that zig route is going to be open every time. And that post right there is so nice. If you have just a decent tight end, as you can tell right there, we just gained literally about 30 yards off that one play. Now, whenever I get in the red zone, I actually love to do quarterback draws. So one thing you want to make sure you do when you do your quarterback draw is make everything look the same. So when you motion somebody, for the pass play, do the same thing when you run a quarterback draw. And I don't like passing the ball in the red zone. And what I would recommend for you is to not do what I'm doing right here. So the reason I'm doing this is because I want to showcase, you know, the offense. So I want to stay in the offensive formation as much as I can, you know. Just, I mean, it makes it a little harder on me, yeah. That's right there. I don't even understand how I got in, but it makes it harder on me. But for you guys, you know, come out different formation. You know, you don't have to sit and run the same thing, you know, in the red zone. I just do it just to show you guys. But this is by far the best man setup right here because you literally attack every area of the field. You can tell he's actually using that deep safety. And as you can tell, I just didn't want to get baited, so we are going to be able to have that low ball on the in route. That's going to be your money route. Now, this is actually that wide corner play I was telling you about, and it's so good because it just kills man coverage. So all I did was smart route that post, well, the corner turned to a post, and I smart routed in route. I'm just reading the user. User wants to kind of do nothing in no man's land and kind of cover deep. Well, I'm going to take my smart routed in route, and that's why it's so good to make sure you have a good receiver. He doesn't need to be fast. You can tell it's Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen only has like 89 speed, so it doesn't matter about speed at all. So right here, you see we do get the ball back. We are up 3, and got a quarterback draw. And like I said, for some reason, I don't know if, I guess the center was just bad or something, but I just kept getting, you know, quick shedded, and you can't really do nothing about it, you know. So right here, this is actually that, I gotta remember the names of the plays. My bad, y'all. I'll be forgetting names, but you guys can match it up. I know y'all smart enough to match up the plays. So right here, as you can tell, like, it's just man, so I'm just making the read. So I see R1, so what? I'm actually gonna hit R1. And the reason that it's so nice is because that crosser can actually beat man coverage. Now, if he has like some star corner or a star safety on him or something, then maybe, you know, maybe, but it's just ran so good to where, you know, you're gonna have a good chance of getting open. Now, right here, I put R1 on the slant for the user to follow the slant, and I was gonna hit the in route behind him. All I needed the user to do was just stutter just a little bit, and that's what he did. And I went ahead and lowballed that in routes because lowball in routes are so good against man coverage, as you guys already know. But right there, I want you guys to pay attention. So it's like every single time I run quarterback draw, that center sheds every time. So I don't know if it's just how the play is. You know, make sure if you use this play, I would use like the Cardinals, I would use like the Ravens, Seahawks. I would use somebody who has a mobile quarterback. You know, I wouldn't really use this with Justin Herbert. You can, but it's just not as good as right here. As you can tell, Jared Cook is just cooking. You know, like no pun intended, but he's just getting open. Like, it's just such a great route. So right here it curls. I do typically like this against man, so I put X on the curl route just to see, and that should have been my read. I just didn't want to throw a pick, and at that point I seen the user actually bait over there. I was expecting him to bait on that left side of the field, so it was all right, you know, and I really didn't want to force an incompletion or a pick. So sometimes it's just a smarter play to take the sack, you know. So right here, gonna motion over that slant because he's been playing man coverage. And right here, as I told you guys, he can actually get open. If they shade over the top, you will have that if there's no middle safety. So that's what makes this offense so dangerous. So right here, this is the wide corner play I was telling you about. Now, I put circle on a smoke screen, and I motioned them across just in case there was any purples out there. That smoke screen actually pull down any purples if they're not zone droppers. Right there, I told you that corner route is really, really good against man coverage, especially if you motion it over, then it's a good post. So you can just use those two combos to your advantage. You know, that's basically all I'm doing. So right here, I'm just going to do the same setup again. Now, right here was my fault. You guys will see in a second. I got greedy, and I noticed I was like 15 for 15 or something, so I kind of just, I don't know, I made a dumb read right. So I want you guys to watch R1. So R1 was open. I just didn't throw it, and I thought I was going to be able to throw it to the back of the end zone back there, but he just didn't get enough air on it, and it was just a really bad read. It wasn't open. Great lurk by my opponent nonetheless. So right here, you guys can tell this is actually the last play for him. We actually get a pick right there, and that's pretty much actually going to seal the game. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I do hope you have a blessed day, and I'm actually going to wait till he quits out just so you guys can see, but I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.